Kimberly, Allison from Starliner Music. Welcome to my channel. Today in fingerboard geometry, we'll be grouping together caged diatonic arpeggios within the C area. That means we'll take 7 arpeggio shapes and group them together into one area to overlap diatonic or arpeggios in the key. First, we'll go over some fingerings and then we'll do some exercises. Here we go. I hope you enjoy it. Alright, today in fingerboard geometry we'll be looking at diatonic caged arpeggios, meaning arpeggios within the key. We'll be using all 5 cage shapes to place the arpeggios within a small fret span. So in this video we're concentrating on what happens if we place the one chord of our key in the C form. So for instance, in the key of D, the C form of D looks like this chord. So what I'm talking about is the corresponding arpeggio would be the C form based on this octave pattern. So this is a C form triad arpeggio. So I've been through all the caged arpeggio shapes on my previous videos, so if you're not sure about those, you might want to go back and review them. But for this exercise in this video, I'm going to play the octave pattern, the caged octave pattern first. Then I'm going to play the arpeggio from the root to the top of the pattern, to the bottom of the pattern, and back to the root like this. Here's the octave, and then the arpeggio, and then end on the root. So we have a good idea where the root is at in our pattern. So that was the one chord D. The 2 chord is E minor, so here's the octave pattern. This is a D shape, and here is the E minor arpeggio. And that's my E minor 2 chord. In the key of D, F sharp minor is the 3 chord, so here is the octave pattern. It's the E form, and the arpeggio is like this. The 4 chord is G, and the octave shape is like this. It's also E form. And the 5 chord is A. That's a G form. That's the octave shape. The 6th chord is B minor. There's the octave pattern. So that's an A form for the B minor. And now for the C sharp diminished, I'm going to give you a couple of fingerings here. The octave shape is C, like this. If you want to play 1 note per string, the pattern looks like this. Root, minor 3rd, diminished 5th, and then we have the root again, minor 3rd, diminished 5th. That works well if you'd like to have 1 attack per string. Otherwise, if you want to skip a string, you could do this. Same root pattern, still C, right? But we have root, and then the minor 3rd and the flat 5 on the same string, and then skip up to the octave. So that's another option. So those were arpeggio fingerings for the key of D. Now let's try another key. We're going to move up to the key of E now. So the 1 chord looks like this. There's my octave pattern, that's the C form, and the arpeggio is this. So that's my 1 chord. 2 chord in the key of E is F sharp minor. It's my D form octave. So F sharp minor. And then my 3 chord is G sharp minor. My 4 chord is A, so this is E form. My 5 chord is B in the G form. My 6 chord, C sharp minor in the A form. So the 7th chord is D sharp diminished, and we can figure that a couple ways. It's in the C form. Here's the octave shape. So 1 note per string. And then with a string skip. So that was the 7 D sharp diminished. Now that we've looked at a couple of keys, let's move on to the exercises. All right, for the exercises, we're going to take our 7 arpeggio fingerings, our diatonic chords, and play them through a few keys. You could use the circle of fifths to pick your root, or just cycle through the circle of fifths or fourths, or you could use a musical die. Looks like this. You can just roll for a root randomly, and this is a good way to randomize your practice. So either way, musical die or the circle would be a good way to choose a root. Now, I chose to start with the root G, so I'm just going to run through the arpeggios in G, and then we'll get a look at the full exercise. So G is here at the 10th fret, and we just play the octave first, and then we play the full arpeggio, and then we go to the next chord. So here's G, A minor, and then we have B minor, and then C, and then we have D, and then we have E minor, and then we have F sharp diminished, and then we go on to the next key. Let's get a look. That's it for caged arpeggios within the C area. I'm Kimberly Allison from Starliner Music, and I hope to see you back on my channel soon.